Hi everyone, Fire here. I'm gonna take a seat today because today I don't want to talk about hair, but I still wanted to say hello to everyone. I haven't been feeling great. I'm still very stressed about finding a place to live and all that. Wait, I'm sitting so low. Whoops. And yeah, just not feeling great, and my stomach is upset again, and blah blah blah, lots of stuff. And my hair, I've completely oiled it at the moment. I put some Selkie herbal detangler in there because it was really tangly, because I was actually very lazy or just not nice to my hair, and I kind of neglected it, didn't feel like combing it. But today kind of was like, you know what, let's pamper it. So there you go. And then I put some coconut oil in there so it's ready to just stay in there for the day, and then I can wash it tonight. But well, my day today is gonna be completely about trying to relax because I really need that. And then I figured, like, I haven't really told anything about myself. I mean, except certain things, of course, but who am I? I haven't really told anyone here, like, who am I? Except that that I'm a bit of a perfectionist. And I just wanted to show some pretty stuff today, just because they make me happy, and hopefully they will make you happy, or maybe you get some ideas for a hobby or something like that. So I wanted to share, what do I do to relax or to have like a creative outlet, or how do I handle my perfectionism, for instance, because being a perfectionist can be great. Like with my hair, it really drove me back in the day, it really drove me to practice the French braid, for instance. There were no tutorials back then, so I really had to figure it out on my own. It was very frustrating, but I stuck to it, and that gave me kind of a deeper understanding of how I had to braid and all that. So I'm really proud of that. So that's like a good thing with perfectionism. But perfectionism can also ruin things. For instance, me not making videos often or I think I look like crap because I don't feel very healthy at that time. But I think most people who are ill can understand. Or just because, I'm still not happy with my surroundings, not happy with my camera. I'm not happy that I can't edit anything because I'm still looking for something, and I used to have like a very nice program for it and I could work with that one, but yeah, everything changed, new computer, la la la. Yeah, and then you kind of get stuck. So what have I been doing? Okay, so I'm gonna I don't know where to start. I have like lots of stuff laying around here. So of course, one of my things that I used to use to relax was my hair, of course. Just looking at shampoos, conditioners, figuring it out, trying new products. It gives me fun. I like to experiment with them, and just gives me a sense of joy. I like having lots of products in my bathroom so I can choose that day. Just makes it, your experience of going to wash your hair a bit nicer and more exciting, really. So I'm a bit more like that. I know some people are like, I just have this and I use this and I'm happy with that, which is great if you're like that. But I'm like, I get bored easily. And this is also the reason why I found my type of hobbies that are best for me, because I need to switch it up a lot, and I need to have a hobby where it's not a big deal, where I leave it for a while. So that's why I don't have pets or anything, because I'm so afraid that once I get in like in a bad mood or in a depressed mood or too stressed out, that I won't take good care of it. That would be my fear. So I'm like, no, I don't want to get a pet. It's too much of a commitment, and I want to be sure I take, that I'm good for the animal, and I don't trust myself. So I'm like, I'm not getting one. I mean, that's everyone's choice, of course. But what are the kind of things I do besides my hair that let me be creative? Well, first of all, I used to write poems a lot, like a lot. But I kind of stopped doing that. Sometimes I get back into it, but then I kind of leave it again because I always think like, who cares about poems, right? And I like reading them, I know, but it's not that poems are like a big thing like books, you know. Most people like reading novels. And there we go to our first point, is that I do like to read. I used to read a lot. I used to not be into fantasy. I actually got into it because of one book from Terry Goodkind, the Sword of Truth or something like that. I don't know the exact title because for me it was in Dutch. It was translated to Dutch back in the day. Now, of course, I read in English because, you know, I studied English, so it's a bit of a pet peeve of mine to read it in the original language. And since, well, you all know, I think, that I studied English and German. So I do like to read English books just to stay in touch with my English. And then we have our first thing here. I like buying these books. These are like English classics. For instance, oh, it still has the price on it, but they're really cheap, like €2 for The Hounds of Baskervilles. And The Valley of Fear, apparently, from Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Because we never really, I did some studies where it was more about the communication, learning to speak the language, using it in business. I did interpreter translator. So the emphasis was more on that and really getting a grasp on the language. We had so much grammar, like ridiculously amount of grammar, very difficult. Lots of text, lots of translating, lots of interpreting. And reading was also there, but not as much. So someone who does like the normal, how you'd say, just studying German and English, for instance, they read a lot more. But we also read, but just not as much. And I do like reading, but I don't like it when it's obligated. So I don't like it in school. But now that I'm like free to choose, I actually want to read these books. So I bought a bunch of them over the years, but still kind of stayed stuck because I read other things. The Life of David Copperfield I have, because I've always wanted to read this one. This was actually one we saw like an excerpt from it, and I really liked the way Charles Dickens wrote, so we'll get there eventually. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy 2 years. So then we have The Age of Innocence from Edith Wharton, also another classic that it's a must read. And of course, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So yeah, I'm still working on these. Like I started them and then I kind of forgot about them and then I started reading other things, and I wanted to collect more of them, but where I used to buy them, you know, because they're €2 for a book, which is very cheap. They don't sell them anymore, so I'm like, oh, because I still want to collect more, like the ones I really want to read, especially from Jane Austen, and maybe some more from Charles Dickens. I don't know yet. So yeah, I am a reader, but it's not just novels. I also like reading just romantic novels, very silly novels, more chick lit. But I'm not gonna show those because they have not so appropriate pictures on there. Because, you know, they're always like very with a very handsome guy and a girl half naked on the picture on the front cover, which is ridiculous, but I guess they think it sells. But I like reading those when I don't want to think. And to be honest, that's what I've been at most of the times, like the last 2 years. I don't want to think. So I've been reading very light, you know, some very light reading, silly stuff. But I've noticed that I want to start to get back into the intellectual stuff. Talking about the intellectual stuff, then we have these, and I've started reading these quite a while ago. Never finished them. These are brilliant, by the way. It's What on Earth Evolved from Christopher Lloyd. And this guy, he can write. He can really write. He can make it interesting. But it's I got like halfway. I got to On Agriculture. But this book is amazing. So it's 100 species that changed the world. So it's like, see, they talk about the rat. It's in English, by the way. So they talk about the rat, they talk about roses, cocoa beans, coffee beans, you know, all kinds of things about how the earth started. It's just trees, all kinds of trees that were important. It's just very interesting, and yeah, I want to keep on reading this. And then we have another book from Christopher Lloyd, and I got it as a gift because I liked the first one that much. I got that as a birthday gift a long time ago, and it's called What on Earth Happens. It's the complete story of the planet, life, people from the Big Bang to the present day. Also from Christopher Lloyd. Didn't got as far, only to here, because I kind of want to finish the first one first. But this speaks more about, you know, writes more about cultures. Look, the epic conquest of Alexander the Great, for instance. That's like everything about cultures and also a bit about nature. It's just really interesting, and I want to get back into it because I did study languages, yes, but in high school or not elementary school, high school, college, I forgot how you say it in British English. There I studied languages as well, but first I started with Latin and maths. Yes, what the bleep you would say. That was just the way it went, you know, because, you know, I was influenced by my siblings and just the way it, you know, was here. And Latin was kind of the way to go. And I did enjoy that because of the culture thing, and it did teach me a lot about language, the way it's set up and everything. It helped me with my German. But yeah, in the fourth year was kind of like done with it. Maths, I was just horrible. I'm just not good at maths. That was a given. I enjoyed languages a lot more, but what I also enjoyed a lot was science. So anything about, you know, physics and chemistry and also geography and biology. I love that stuff. I love learning just about the world. So I guess that explains my interest in these kinds of books. I used to be crazy about dinosaurs, about whales, about the planet. So I was really interested in all that kind of things, all these kinds of things. But when it came down to it, I felt like I would be the happiest with learning languages, because I really, in my last 2 years, I stopped with Latin and maths, and I started to do modern languages and science. And I loved those last 2 years of my high school, just because those were really the things that interested me, you know? So that kind of, yeah. But I'm also a romantic soul, so I like reading all the silly stuff. So besides reading, something else I've done off and on, because I'm very good at that, I'm doing things off and on, is writing. Not just poems, but also journaling, writing short stories. I still miss that, but I can't get back into it. I'm just too much of a harsh critic for myself. But what I do again is journal, but I used to have like this big, humongous file on my computer. I'll be typing. But I kind of wanted to go back to the old school style. So a while ago, I bought this book. It's just so pretty. It's just a notebook. And this pen is triangular, by the way. It's very comfortable to hold. And I was like, you know what? This will be my journal. I'm not going to show what's in there, of course. Also because I can't write for shit. let's say ships. So yeah, I can't write like, how you say, calligraphy or anything. I'm so bad at it. You can't read my handwriting. Yes, I'm a girl, but still, I've never been able to write in a pretty way. I've always been bad at it. It's something I'll have to live with. So yeah, that's another like creative outlet for me. And now you get to the stuff I've been enjoying the most, really, lately. Something I started when my mother passed away. And for Christmas, some American friends, they figured, because for them Christmas is really important. I know it's like a big family thing over there. It's also a family thing over here in Belgium, but it's just not as a big of a thing here as in the US, I've noticed. So, but they were so ever so kind. They felt bad, with my mum passing away. They wanted to give me a Christmas gift. And one of the gifts was a coloring book. And it got me completely hooked on it because I really thought, like, no, because I can't write, I can't draw. I'm just bad with my hands in that way. Like, oh, I can't do it. But the book was so beautiful and I couldn't help myself but start coloring. And it gave me so much relaxation in the beginning. It was just incredible. It's the most typical one. I think everyone knows it. It's the one from Joanna Basford. They gave me two. The Secret Garden, the first one, and then the second one, the Enchanted Forest. The Enchanted Forest is still like one of my favorites. It's so pretty. Love it, love it, love it. But here we come with the perfectionism. So yeah, I started liking it, and then I got obsessed with it. I started looking up things, and then my first birthday without my mother came along, and I was really distraught. Like, I was going to turn 29 and had no parents, which, yeah, it was a tough one on me, because for me, my birthday has always been very special to me, very dear to me. So it was very painful to realize, yeah, my mother's not going to be there anymore. And then I bought myself something really expensive, but I never regretted it because they're amazing. And I'm talking about these, a full set of Faber-Castell pencils, the polychromos. So people who are also in the coloring world will know what these babies are. They're just so amazing. These are artist grade pencils, and I just love them so much. I cherish them so much. And yeah, I love having lots of choices. So 120 colors are like perfect for me. They're brilliant. They color so well. I really love them. So I got really into my coloring phase and lots of coloring. And yeah, lots of books. And I got lots of books as gifts and whatever, started collecting a lot of coloring books. But then I wanted to show you some of my favorites from the time being. And I'm actually very into Japanese coloring books. Why? Because they're so cheerful and delicate and gentle and like fairy tale like. They're very happy, and that kind of became my thing. So one of the ones I really love is Romantic Country. And I'll show you one of my pictures I've colored in. This is one I really try, by the way. I'm not a good colorist at all, but this is one I try. I tried to do some shading and all that. I was so proud of this one, because I really put a lot of effort into that one. And then I got another one, was my last one, is Menuet de Bonheur. Well, it's French, the title is French, but it's a Japanese coloring book as well. And it's so cute, with lots of cute little animals. And I started a picture just to try it out. So this is what I've been working on, for instance. So just some flowers. And some piggies. Look how cute, some piglets. But as you can see, I'm not the greatest. I'm not an artist, I'm just a colorist. I just like coloring things in. But this is when I really try. The two that you've just seen is when I really try. And then I get stressed after a while. I find I can't relax anymore. And I noticed that with other hobbies as well. And then I realized I need to let myself be at times. So yes, the intellectual books are nice. But sometimes when you're really stressed, you just want to do some light reading. And that's perfectly fine. It's fine, but I was so hard on myself. Like, should read this and should read that, should learn more, should use my time well, in a good way, useful way. No, sometimes it's completely fine to read some silly books. If that's what makes you relax, then you should go for it. And that's why I got something else for my birthday. Well, I asked it specifically. I noticed that I got stressed with my regular coloring because I wanted to do it too perfectly. And then I got this book as a birthday gift because I turned 30 last month. Yay to me! Oh, 30. Not that happy about that, but okay. Then I got this book, Color Me Calm. Why? Why did I get this book? Well, ask for it. It's because these pictures are really easy, and just to show you a difference. Wait, I need to find one. Where is one? I like them because, there we go. Because these are easy pictures, so you just color them in. See, this is one I did. Just simple, a mandala, no thinking, color. No shading, no artsy-fartsy, just color in the lines and zen, relax. So I've been really happy with this one to switch it up because it makes me still enjoy my hobby without the pressure. And I actually did the same with the pencils. I love my artist grade pencils, but because they are so important to me, I feel like, I had to really do something amazing with them. And then my sister, because I also asked these, got these for my birthday. The Stadler Ergosofts, the 36 pack. Why? Because they have lots of nice colors, but it's 36 colors and that's it. You stick to them. There's a lot of choice, but not too much. While with my 120 grade, artist grade pencils, I'm like, should I use this or that? And I would get like completely freaked out about how I should color in a picture. So the fun was gone, And these make it fun again. And they're like really nice because they're also triangular, which is very comfortable for your hands. Because my hands have been suffering a lot lately. I do a lot of things with my hands, like lots of braiding, lots of, fiddling like that, lots of coloring. And getting to my next point now is crochet. Crochet has also been something I've enjoyed for a few years now, I think. And I was self-taught. I bought this children's book because I couldn't, I had another book and it just wasn't clear enough for me. So I bought a children's book and that actually helped and had little projects in there. How to, how to lessen or multiply and things like that, or do a certain stitch. And that really helped. And then I kind of got into it. And then I started making things and make it more difficult for myself. And then I started doing also something Japanese, amigurumi. I don't know how you say it in English, but it's just making little teddy bears. And that's what I've been working on at the moment. But which also eventually got me stressed is making this, well, it's part of a dragon. I have like part of the head, and I have some limbs here and everything, but they still need to be attached. So this is what I've been working on. Oh, it's so cute. I should really finish this, But yet again, I got stressed. I wanted to do it too perfectly. I hate attaching limbs, to be honest. I hate it. I like crocheting. I don't like attaching things. I hate sewing. Sorry for people who like to sew. Like, kudos to you, because we need more people like you, because I can't sew. So yeah, and then I noticed that I got stressed with that again. And because, it's much more focusing, where do you put it? It needs to be perfect. Is it even? Are the limbs even? Like, is the head right? Yeah, it gave me too much stress. And then I realized, okay, what are we going to do? Instead of just completely freaking out, getting stressed, and not doing anything anymore, let's start just something else, something more gentle. Just like this coloring book, the gentle version of my coloring. I did the same thing. And I also crocheted too much for other people. So I didn't do it anymore for myself. And I noticed that's also a big thing. People who give too much, sometimes it's important to get back to yourself, you know, and just do something for you. And that's what I want to show now. This is something, it's quite big. This is something I have made for myself, well, started to make. And it's a blanket, but it's really big. Wait, I need to make sure I don't lose my stitch. Oh, there we go. And I just started it. Well, I mean, it's really wide though. How do I show this without... There we go. There you go, that's the start. So, it's for 2 people, you know, it's for a king-size bed. There still needs to be a border on it, but yeah, that's for later on. And it's done in the blanket stitch. And this is actually, once you've set it up, it's just relaxing. It's always the same stitch. It's so soft. It's so soft. I used Stylecraft DK acrylic wool, which is really nice. I love it. There's so many choices for the colors. But yeah, I wanted to make a very wintry, cozy blanket. So I'm working on that. But it's a lot of work. And it's very zen. It's just always the same thing. Crochet, crochet, crochet. It's less like, with the teddy bears, you really have to focus how to do things and always follow the pattern and the guidelines. So this is very zen-like and just it feels amazing. So I'm working on that. But then I noticed this is very wintry, and now since it's just such a beautiful, spring is coming and Easter was here, you know, it was Easter. I love the colors, but they're very wintry, and I wanted something more spring-like. So I started this because I've been so stressed that I needed a new project to focus on, and this has been like a dream of mine, like for such a long time. This was actually why I wanted to start crocheting. American people probably already know it, the granny square, right? I love granny squares. I love the effect. It's just so playful and nice and fun. But what annoyed me, yet again, as with the teddy bears, the stuffed toys that I made, is that I hate the attaching. As in, you make the different squares and then you had to sew. And I was like, I don't want to do this, I hate this. And then I finally found a tutorial where you could make the granny squares and join them as you go. So you just crochet them and attach them that way, which makes it a lot more fun. And I saw this pattern for a granny square with daisies on it. I love it so much. So I started a blanket. And here you are. If this is not Easter, I don't know what is. So as you can see, I've been attaching them. Let's get up close. In a very pastel-like purple, and then with the daisies on them. And yeah, I still have like a lot of time to go, and they will get a white border. The entire blanket will get a white border. So yeah, this is me being creative, being myself. As you can see, I enjoy colors a lot. So with coloring, crochet, I like picking out the colors, and I need like certain colors for certain moods. That really helps me, and it just soothes me. So I've learned now to listen to that. Like, if I'm not feeling a project at the time, I need to leave it be for a bit and just do something more spring-like at the moment. And then once it's winter, I'm sure I'll get back into the cozy colors again, for instance. So yeah, we're like 30 minutes in, so I think it's like time to stop. And I'm curious what you think. Like, did you get any ideas? What do you do as hobby, or to relax yourself, or get a bit more zen or something like that? You know, do you enjoy colors, or do you actually just want something more less colorful or less creative, just something very simple? I'm just curious. Like, I always like to learn, you know, just know what other people do. And that's actually what I'm going to do now. I'm going to work on this, sit on my sofa and watch some Downton Abbey. Bye!